has hosted many international races, including the A1 Grand Prix, the FIA GT3s, and also the 24-hour Dubai, which is a yearly event. Today, your driving experience is going to be on the club circuit. After this briefing, you'll be taken across to the pit lane, where you're going to be introduced to the instructor team, and they will be guiding you through your driving experience today. Once you've finished your driving experience, you're going to return back here, where you'll get a debrief and also a certificate of your participation. So before we head over to the circuit, we need to look at our driving technique. This involves both the seating position and also the steering. So first of all, let's look at the seating. If we are sat too far away from the steering, we're not going to have control of the car. So we need to bring ourselves closer to the steering itself. We must ensure that we have a 90-degree bend in both our arms and our legs, so we can depress the pedals fully. This way, we'll have full control of the vehicle at all times, particularly when cornering. Now we have the seating position correct, let's look at the steering technique. So it's very important when we're in the car that we have our hands at 9 and 3 on the steering wheel. This 9 and 3 technique allows us to keep our hands on the steering wheel at all times, even whilst cornering, and enables us to have full control of the vehicle.
To drive quickly and smoothly around the circuit, you need to be driving on what we call the ideal line. Now, to help you with that, what we've done is put some cones on the circuit. We have the first cone you will arrive at is a braking point. This is a red cone. We always brake in a straight line and gear change in a straight line before we reach the second cone. This is a blue cone, and this is what we call a turn-in cone. We turn the car in, and then we look further ahead through the corner, looking for the yellow cone, which is the apex or the clipping point. When we arrive at this cone, we can start to wind the steering out and increase the throttle at the same rate. Your braking and gear change points are very important, and to get them in the correct place. So as we approach each corner, make sure you do all your braking and gear changing in a straight line. We need to finish this before we get to the blue cone, come off the brakes and turn into the corner itself. Also, when you're going into the corners, make sure you stay off the curbs. They can be very slippery, particularly when wet.
Caution. Sand is a big problem on our circuit. We live in the middle of the desert. So please be careful, particularly if you're on an early run in the day. The sand makes it extremely slippery. Even if we've been driving around the circuit, if you go off the ideal line, then it's very, very slippery. Sand is like driving in the wet conditions.
Okay, so we're going to do one flying lap of the club circuit. So down the main straight, this is where you're going to reach the highest speed, around 200 kilometers an hour. Remember, the cones are there to help us. So the first cone we arrive at is a braking point, a red cone. Brake down nice and constantly and smoothly, down the gears, all the way up to the turning cone, the blue cone. Turn the car in, off the brakes, balance the throttle, and then gradually increasing the speed and winding out the steering. Keep the car across to the right-hand side. Red cone again, braking down hard, up to the blue cone, turn the car in, and then looking through the corner. We compromise this first corner for the exit speed on the second. Progressively accelerating out, hard on the brakes again. We're going to go up through the club link, off the brakes at the blue, turn the car in, balance the throttle, try and go as straight a line as possible up through the club link, and then keep the car across to the right-hand side here, over to the blue cone, turning the car in, and then bring the car to the middle of the track, turning again to the right, look for the apex, the yellow, click the apex, let the car come all the way out on the exit on the left-hand side, back on the brakes into the last corner of the track, off the brakes before the blue, turn the car in, and then waiting on the power, and then progressively accelerating out. That's one lap of our club track, and now we start the next lap. Thank you for your attention. It's now time for you to enjoy your driving experience here at the Autodrome.
Okay, now the nerves are really running.